Okay, so as people are joining the webinar, I'm going to start welcoming you all. First of all, my name is Pancharatna. I'm the director of Chant Now, the project that has connected you with this webinar. It's been going on for some time now. I don't know, whether you are already connected or you are connected with our host, our leader for this webinar, Madhu. But in any case, welcome. And he'll be joining us in just a few minutes. I wanted to take the opportunity to say a few words about what we're planning to do here, what you can expect. We're going to be having Madhuri Pura, who is an old friend actually, although he's a young man. We've known each other for quite some time, and I've watched as he's really come into a wonderful leadership position, I could say, in the world of Kirtan, giving people access to this great method of meditating with the mantra and music for all over the world, actually. A few other things. He's, as you said, he teaches Kirtan and meditation all over the world. He's a certified yoga teacher, Ayurvedic coach. He's a actual professional musician as well, and plays with a band called Shelter. Some of you may have heard of that from some time. It's quite a check it out. You'll see. And yeah, he is got so much to offer us. So we're going to be exploring the basics and principles of Kirtan, how it all works. This is an interactive webinar. We're using Zoom here so that you can all ask questions, give responses, find out more, and in that way, find out how you can bring Kirtan into your own lives. I mean, now we're in a time when most of us, I think probably all of us in this webinar, are in some form of restriction. The places we might go for joining and getting together with people are all restricted. So one of the objectives here of this webinar is to teach you how you can do Kirtan at your home or with your family members and like that. So this is our goal and our objective. So please let me take a minute here to see that we get everybody in that's in here. Okay, I'd like to ask everybody to please stay on mute so that we can listen nicely to Madhu. And let's see how are we getting ready there? Okay, let's see. I'm going to. All right. We've got a few more people here in the waiting room, so we're going to bring them in. And let's see. Okay, yeah. And also, let's see, people, we are live on Facebook, so I'm just going to check here to see if we have any questions here while Madhu's coming on. By the way, Madhu Pura is in. Oh, there he is. We have some friends here too that from various places. I recognize some names here. Jessica, I recognize you from our Chant Now team. And who else we got here? Also backing us up here for the webinar is our team here. But by the way, I'm speaking to you from a place in India. My home for most of the year is here in India. I would have been in New York City at this time, but chose to remain here. Somehow India is weathering this storm fairly well. And we're in a place called Mayapur. Mayapur is actually the home of Kirtan. Kirtan really started its journey towards worldwide phenomena here in Mayapur. And that's a big story, which maybe Madhu will also touch upon. Okay, so there he is. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So I'm going to bring Madhu on, and away we go. Okay, I'll make sure he's unmuted there. All right, you're live. Okay, Madhu, take it away.
Thank you, Pancharatna. Thank you so much. It's so nice to see you all. If it is of no inconvenience, we'd love to see all of your beautiful faces if you wanted to come on, so that we could make sure that you're really alive and you're really there. And I'd love for you to just type in the group chat where you're tuning in from. You could just add that on in. Oh, there you all are. Now it's a party. I'd love to hear where you're tuning. I'm coming from Denver, Colorado, USA. Where are you all coming from?
Shahola, Pennsylvania.
I love it. Oh, we got some more Denver folk. Okay, that's cool.
I'm from Brazil.
Brazil, amazing.
Brazil too, Rio de Janeiro.
Okay, we got 2 for Denver, 2 for Brazil.
Yes.
Where's everyone else tuning in from? You could type it in the group chat too. Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, fantastic. Paramaribo, Suriname. Okay, awesome. Colombia, Bogota, India. Fantastic. We're so happy you could all join us. So go ahead, and you can actually, a cool way to do this is you can raise your hand. If you go down to the participants and you click on participants, there's a way it says, where's that at? To raise their hands. Is that an option here? Or am I making that up? Might be. If you guys want to raise, well, I guess the way we could do this then is if you like anything you hear, you could go like this. Let's practice that real quick. If anything is useful, there it is. Okay. That's how we'll know if something's useful or not. So today we're going to talk about Kirtan, or as some people pronounce it in the West, Kirtan. Have you ever heard of Kirtan, or do you practice Kirtan at home already? This is how I'll know. Okay, cool. So for those of you not yet familiar with Kirtan, Kirtan is call and response mantra meditation. Manas in Sanskrit means mind. Trayate means to free. Have you ever heard of stress before? Anyone here? Stress, anxiety, you've ever heard of that? You've heard of it, but you haven't experienced it, right? So mantra is meant to free the mind of all stress and anxiety, but not just that. Mantra meditation in all of the ancient yoga literatures, the bhakti yoga scriptures, it's mentioned that out of all of the various types of meditations out there, mantra meditation is the most powerful because not only does it capture the mind, there's a lot of meditations out there where you can focus your mind, but mantra meditation, it captures the mind with sound. And this sound is said to be transcendental sound or spiritual sound that's not of this realm. Therefore, if I chanted anything, say if I chanted, Coca-Cola, 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 I probably won't feel very excited after some time, because Coca-Cola and mantras have a different type of vibration. Have you guys ever experienced that by chanting mantras and feeling a different type of vibration? Awesome. Just so you know, I'm not making this stuff up. So mantra meditation is powerful individually when we do it on our own. There's different ways to chant at home, and there's ways to chant in groups like that. So when we chant at home, that's called japa. Japa, because you use 2 things. What are those 2 things? The ja and the pa. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Japa. And then you have kirtan meditation. And kirtan, again, in Sanskrit, is a word that indicates spiritual sound that's being chanted. Spiritual sound that's being chanted. So as we go through here, I'd love to hear, you guys could type in the group chat, what fascinates you about Kirtan? What is it about Kirtan that, if you know Kirtan, what is it that keeps you going for Kirtan? If you don't know Kirtan, what intrigues you about Kirtan? Like that. Because we're going to open it up for a lot of questions. Well, maybe a lot of questions, maybe not a lot of questions, but the opportunity for as many questions as you have. We already received a few questions ahead of time that we'll address as well. Because we would love more than anything, this Chant Now group, we would love more than anything for everyone here to develop a personalized mantra meditation practice with Kirtan. I myself, I've experienced crazy changes in my life and my mind and my physical well-being just by bringing these mantras into my life. And it's almost like there's a reason people have been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. It's almost like it works. I personally felt the difference it's brought into my life, and I feel very confident that it could change your life. The cool thing is I've been to almost every country that I've seen you either mention or that you put in the group chat. And there's been 100% guarantee that this mantra meditation works. Not a lot of 100% guarantees in this world, but this is something that's proven even scientifically to change, to rewire the brain in very beneficial ways. Have you guys ever heard of that before? Heard about it? It actually changes you on a cellular level. Here, just in Boulder, Colorado, we have one bhakti yogi, which means a regular avid practitioner of bhakti or mantra meditation. Bhakti means love and devotion, and yoga means to connect, divine connection through love and devotion, of which case mantra meditation is one of the primary ways of bhakti yoga. And he's a neurologist that came up with all of these tests with over 100 patients, pre-mantra and post-mantra. It's pretty spectacular. Maybe I'll give the link to everyone that comes after this. We could send that to your email like that. So Kirtan, there's a lot of mantras out there, true or false. This is true, this is false. There's a lot of mantras out there. There's a lot of mantras, that's right. In the ancient yoga literatures, it's mentioned, I mean, there's more mantras than we could take the next several days to just recite and recite and recite. Oh, I'm loving what you guys are typing in the group chat. Please feel free to keep them going. I love that. I love that. So in the yoga literatures, ancient yoga literatures, there's so many mantras to chant, but this particular age that we're in is called Kali Yuga. Kali means quarrel and hypocrisy. Have you guys ever experienced that before? Any quarrel in your life? Any hypocrisy? A little bit. Particularly, yeah, not me. The particular age we're in, it's called like the age of iron, like that Kali Yuga. And in this particular age, it's mentioned that because there's so many mantras, we may not have so much time. That there's one mantra that's called like the Panacea Mantra. One mantra that gives all the benefits of all the other mantras in all the other ages, all the other times. And that's called the Maha Mantra. Maha in Sanskrit means great. Everyone say great. Great. You can say it in your language too. Bueno. Fabuloso. Yes. Great. It's Maha means the great mantra. And it's mentioned that iti shodashakam nam nam kali kalera nashanam. Right? Sanskrit, no? It's mentioned that this mantra, this Maha Mantra, is the mantra for this age, the mantra that can help us to achieve our true self. It's mentioned that by nature we're three things: eternal, blissful, full of knowledge. What are we? Pretend like I can hear you. Eternal, blissful, full of knowledge, right? And that it's only through different coverings and conditionings that the soul gets covered in that way. And as we get to waken up the dormant soul within us, the dormant consciousness, supreme consciousness within us, we can re-experience our true nature as spirit souls. And this mantra is explained to be the most beneficial mantra for reawakening that supreme consciousness within us, that divine consciousness within us. Anyone interested in that by any chance? Nah, no thanks, right? Yeah, that's right. I love that. So you'll find that all around the world in big groups, maybe not right now during the quarantine, but typically in big groups in every city you can name all across the globe. People get together and they chant together, specifically this mantra. There are others, of course, but more this mantra than others. And together, it's kind of like, you know, if you want to work out by yourself, it's kind of like, it's easy to lose motivation. Yes or no? This means yes. This means no. It's very easy to lose. I don't know about you. For me, it's very easy to lose motivation. But when you're in groups, then there's a type of like accountability, and their enthusiasm can uplift you, right? Have you ever experienced that? Like others' enthusiasm. So kirtan is this practice where we all come together. Yeah, I love it. I love all your smiles, by the way. You're welcome to smile the whole time if you want. You all have such beautiful smiles. So kirtan is a way that we come together and we chant these mantras back and forth. And the method is typically call and response. So the leader will chant a mantra with a certain melody. And then everyone, as one family, one unit, will respond the melody. The leader will chant mantra with the melody, response, mantra, melody. And it's like a fight for who can become more blissful. Back and forth. So I'm loving what you guys are typing here. Please keep them coming. Hearing kirtan in the temple makes me feel extraordinarily peaceful. I'm right there with you, Jessica. Kirtan clears my mind, makes me grow spiritually every day. If you vibe with any of these, you can let us know. Jazz fingers are so much more fun than, you know, raising our hand. Connection between the holy name and the soul, singing and the instruments. Yes. Kirtan makes me feel alive, happy, and focused. So this way you guys know I'm not making this stuff up. I didn't come up with this. I'm not that smart. So again, kirtan is a call and response where we facilitate a mantra with a melody, and it goes back and forth. So you guys typed in some questions before. In just a minute, we're going to take some more questions. If as we're speaking, any particular questions you have, go ahead and drop them in. We'd love to hear you say them. We'd love to see you ask them like that. Ideally, this would be interactive. Imagine if we were in a room and not in a square box. You can just pretend. If you go like this, it'll make it seem like we're all sitting on each other's shoulders. So some questions some of you asked was, so why the Maha Mantra? Are there other mantras for kirtan? There are so many mantras like we mentioned, but the Maha Mantra or the Hare Krishna mantra is mentioned to be like the Panacea Mantra for this age. How critical is pronunciation of the Sanskrit words? I love that question. I've actually got a few of those online as well. So one way I like to explain this, do we have any mothers or anyone with children? Go and raise your hand. Okay. So mothers, I'll let you answer in the group chat if you like. If your child, let's say, hey Sharon, great to see you. So Sharon or any other mothers out there, if your child as a baby, instead of calling you Sharon, called you Shasha. I have a feeling, Sharon, you probably wouldn't say my name right, or I won't answer, right? I don't think you do that. And why is that? Actually, I'd love to hear, Sharon, let's say, I don't think Sri Radha would do that, your amazing daughter, but let's say if one of your children, instead of calling you Sharon, say Shasha or Mama, like that. Why might you respond to that, even though they're not calling your name properly?
Because one, you're so grateful that they're talking, and the other is because you love them so much. Anything they say is beautiful. I
love that answer. Can the other mothers do we have any children in here? Anyone child? Anyone? Can anyone resonate with that answer? I'd give that 11 thumbs up if I had one more. Thank you, Sharon. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, so I would say it's the same thing when we're calling to our source of love. We're calling out to God, to Krishna, our higher power. Just the fact that we're calling, just the fact that we're picking up the phone and saying, hey, that's powerful. That's very powerful. So the pronunciation can be very helpful because Sanskrit carries a potency in the sound. It's a very enigmatic language. It's a dead language now currently because it's such a powerful language that it takes years to even learn the grammar properly. It's such a powerful language that even the syllables of Sanskrit they're like perceivable. You can feel them. There's a type of shakti or power in those syllables. So when we can pronounce them nicely, it's nice. Just when it's like, hello mother, how are you? Rather than mama, you how, right? It's like either one is sweet. It's like you can make someone, throw someone together a little lunch, and you can make also a very gourmet lunch. Either way, it's like, that's very sweet. But one, it shows you took the time to really learn the pronunciation. So that's cool too if you could do that. But the main thing is the intention, It's kind of like, if you have any little brothers or sisters or nieces and nephews, when you might hear babies cry sometimes, right? Sometimes. And there's different types of cries the baby has. There's like, it's like, have you ever been with a mother and the baby starts crying? You're like, oh, they're crying. What's happening? They're like, no, they're just hungry. No, they just, they're just tired. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like that. The baby has different cries. And then there's the type of cry. Yeah, thanks guys. Let me know. And then there's the type of cry that the mother hears from a mile away. The I need you cry, right? The one that the mother drops everything and runs for. It's about the intention. It's the intention behind the sound that's coming out. So the pronunciation can very much help. And if that's something like you're into, like learning the basics of Sanskrit, awesome. And if not, awesome. The main thing is cultivating the intention behind the sound, behind letting it out. Does that make sense? Cool. Let's see. What are some other ones? What is the importance of call and response in Kirtan? What a good question. So we actually, we also have that one. Maybe you guys are sending the same ones. I don't know. Otherwise, I have a feeling you're all on the same vibration here. Call and response gives us the opportunity to hear and chant. Hear, chant, hear, chant, hear, chant, hear, chant, hear, chant, in and out, to engage all of our senses in hearing. When the leader is chanting, they're like taking us on a journey. And we're actually going to do a little kirtan here shortly, where we're going to take a certain melody, add the mantra on the melody, and then we cruise. We put on cruise control, and we go into places of love, places of deep gratitude. And when the chanter facilitates the mantra and everyone responds, then the chanter gets to hear the response, and then they chant it, and then they hear it, and then they chant it, and they hear it, like that. And any other questions, go ahead and keep typing them in. I'll keep addressing some of the other ones we have here. Should you be a professional musician to lead kirtan? Yes. If you're not a professional musician, please don't ever lead kirtan. No, of course not. Raise your hand if you have a terrible voice. Me too. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Has nothing to do with kirtan. Nothing to do with it. Doesn't matter how pretty you are. Doesn't matter how cool your hair is, or how nice your earplugs are. External things have nothing to do with kirtan. Nothing. And in a minute, we'll talk about how to, even if you don't even know how to clap on beat, awesome. That has nothing to do with kirtan. Cool. It could help. It could help absorption, but that's not the thing. The main thing is calling out from the heart. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Do you need to use Indian instruments? No, you have to use Canadian instruments. Of course not. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. You can use anything. I have a ball jar. I could play that sometimes. You could play a little, you have little drumsticks at hand. Awesome. Whatever you got, that's perfect for kirtan. You can use any instrument that you want to help, encourage. Do we have any musicians here? Anyone that enjoys playing any instruments? A little bit. Awesome. So then cool. Play that instrument and then throw some mantras on top of that. That sounds like a delicious recipe. So yeah, use any instruments, use no instruments. You can use, does everyone have these instruments? Let's hear them. Let's hear them. A little rusty, right? No. You got a couple options here. These are sufficient to do kirtan with. What are the basics for doing a kirtan at home or with friends? What's the idea of call and response? We just chatted about that. What melody should we use? Is there a particular rhythm or beat that should be followed? Awesome questions. So doing kirtan at home is very challenging because you need a lot of things in place. In order to do kirtan at home, it's very challenging because you need to be home and you need at least one other person to be home. I know it sounds very challenging. And you need to at least have these instruments. I mean, these instruments are the best, the voice. Let's hear those voices. La, pretend like we can hear it. La. Yeah, cool. This is the main instrument. These can be helpful too. If you have two people, I know that might be challenging. You got a kirtan. That's all it takes for kirtan, is having the two of you or the 3,000 of you. I did kirtan with over 10,000 people. That's cool. Two people, that's cool. 10,000 people, that's really cool. And anywhere in between. Try not to do more than 1 million people. Don't try not to do kirtan, not tonight at least. I'm being facetious. So doing kirtan at home, that's all it takes. All it takes is a little sincerity and chanting. You don't have to use any special mantra. There's actually, I wanted to show you, may I show you guys something fun? Are you guys open to it? I'm about to take you back in time. Are you ready? Are you guys okay with time travel? Just do me a favor. If you have a hat on, just prepare yourself. So there's a really cool place I'm going to take you to. Do we have anyone that lives in New York here? Okay. So taking you to a really cool place here. I'm going to take you to back in the day in New York. You guys enjoying where you're at? You hearing all that? What you're seeing right now, this is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I'll mention him in just one moment. And everyone around here, there's a bunch of cool people chanting. This was back in probably right around 1966 or so. And A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, he's the one responsible for bringing the Bhakti Yoga to the West in the 60s and the 70s. He took this practice that was very much like hidden gems of India, that had many people had tried taking them around the world, but nothing caught much traction. But at the young age of 69 years old, he hopped on he got a first class ticket on SpiceJet or on Lufthansa. No, he took a boat called the Jaladuda. It was about 35 days. I don't know if you guys have ever been on a boat for a couple hours. If I'm on a boat for a couple hours, I get me off this thing. I get nauseous. I've never been on a boat for 35 days. I wouldn't mind not ever being on a boat for 35 days, especially not in the, what do you call the under part of the boat? Forgive me, forgetting the name. And at almost 70 years old, he came and he successfully spread this culture of Bhakti Yoga around the West into, you name it. It's there now. So I wanted to bring you guys here because the melody that he's saying is like a very famous melody now that you can chant in Rishikesh, India. You could chant in Mayapur, India, where Pancharatna was telling about where he came from. And this is the capital of Kirtan, by the way. You see that thing? I'll come back to that in 1 second. Or wherever you could go. You could do it in San Francisco. You could do it in a spaceship, wherever you want. More laughs would be good, just to make sure. Okay, you're seeing this. I gotta make sure you're laughing. So Kirtan, the melody that he sang and that he used was like as simple could be. And it was powerful. They would go for hours and hours and hours. I typically encourage simple mantras, like the one we're going to chant in a minute for Kirtan. Simple's good. Can I do it in Hawaii? Of course you can. Please do. Change the world one mantra at a time. I love it. So before I talk about this cool place, I just want to answer these last few questions. Do you need to understand the language of the mantra? I think that goes back to the other point. It's like the intention's the main thing. Understanding it's very helpful because like the Maha Mantra, for instance, is a call out. Please, please engage me in service. Please engage me in service. When you know that, it's easier to cultivate that mood of the heart. If that makes sense. If that makes sense, let me know. Cool. Where can I okay. How can I start to do kirtan? Like this. chanting. You get your friends. You say, you go to your kids. You say, hey, kids, honey, come here. Go get dad. Call the cousins. Tell them to come over. We're having a party. What are we going to do? We're going to do kirtan. Huh? We're going to sit in a circle or sit on the couches, whatever you want. And you could pull up a YouTube video of kirtan and chant along to that. Or one person could sing the mantra, everyone responds. One person chants the mantra, everyone responds back and forth. Like that. It's really that simple. You can also do it individually. And so that's where you take, sometimes people use japa malas. You guys ever seen these malas of 108 before? Where you chant a mantra on each bead. And this is like a personal meditation practice. Very powerful. If you don't have any malas yet, cool, let us know. Go to chantnow.com. We'll get you off your first set of a whole meditation kit with all of that. In the meantime, have you guys ever heard of a cell phone before, a smartphone? You guys ever heard of that before? There's this cool thing on it. Even if you don't have that, if you're old school, you got a watch with a stopwatch. This is how I started chanting. I put the stopwatch on for 5 minutes, press it, sit. I would close. There those malas are. I love it. Are those the chant now malas, Jessica? Oh, okay. But there's some cool malas. So the way I would start is I would press the stopwatch. I would turn the lights off. I'd lock the door. Anything with an off switch, I'd turn it off. I would tell everyone, leave me alone for 5 minutes. Lock the doors. Sit down, press 5 minutes, and then chant. Just chant the mantra over and over. These beautiful mantras over and over like that. Oh, they're from Bhaktivedanta Man. They're beautiful. So that you can do it if you're in quarantine and there ain't no one to do kirtan with, you always got the YouTube. You can do it with thousands of people online. But otherwise you can cultivate on your inner environment through chanting on japa beads like that. So where can I learn more about how to do kirtan? Good question. And we're coming towards the end of questions in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So go ahead and ask them away in the group chat in the meantime. Awesome question. So has everyone here been able to go on to chantnow.com yet? Everyone's just going, yes, we love chantnow.com. So when Pancharatna started this and so kindly let me take part in this, and this was many years ago, many moons ago when we started this Chant Now project. It was something that very much excited us, and we're very grateful that now it's happening, and we have over 2,000 people signed up to do mantra meditation that learned how to chant through that. So that's one way. Specifically for kirtan, you can either reach out to me and I could share some resources like that. Actually, here's what I'll do in the Zoom group chat. You guys ever heard of social media before? I'm just going to put my little social media tag in here and go and drop me a message. I'd be happy to give you some resources on how you can start to bring kirtan into your life and how you can learn it. As well as on chantnow.com, we have some resources for kirtan. More is coming on kirtan. But in the meantime, drop me a message or drop a message at Chant Now on, these would be on like Instagram, or you could find us on Facebook or anything like that. And we'll be happy to give you some resources. I'm happy to offer you my time for, a free session to get you going in kirtan like that, so that you could just continue to change the world one mantra at a time. And then I would say that's a nice start. And if you're like, I can't wait, then there's this cool thing called YouTube. You can click on it. There's even on Facebook a project going around, a nonstop kirtan from people all around the world are doing nonstop kirtan. I think it's got to be 328 hours so far or something like that, nonstop. So there's a lot of resources to participate with kirtan, even if you're on your own. Otherwise, you call everyone in, everyone that you can open your door and say, neighbors, hey neighbors, and call them on in, change their life. So one mention about this awesome place. Oh yes, please, after this, thank you, Pancharatna. Please also go to this website. I hope you all can see in the group chat here. After this webinar, and drop us your information. We'll send you so many resources. We'll keep you posted. Sign up for the free workshops. They're magical. Even if you've been chanting for a long time, it's such a nice resource to get to check back in and to get to revisit. So one mention about this beautiful temple you see here. This is in Mayapur, where Pancharatna is, the host of and the director of Chant Now. And this is where the project started, and this is where a lot of projects started having to do with Kirtan. It's like the Kirtan capital of the world. This is the Temple of Vedic Planetarium. It'll be built in just about 2 years from now. It'll be fully completed, where it's the biggest like bhakti yoga temple in the whole world. If I'm not mistaken, it's the biggest temple in the world as well. A very powerful place. This is where this movement of Kirtan started and spread all around the world from there. So much more we could say about that, but I just love this picture, especially because you can see my friends here. They wanted to say hi. And there we are. Did you say that the nonstop Kirtan is on Facebook? I did say that. You can find it on, anyone who has the link, you could put it right on in the Zoom group chat if you have access to copy and pasting. Otherwise, on Facebook, it is under, let me find it and then put it in real quick. It's called Festival, there it is. Thank you. It's called Festival of the Holy Name Global Pandemic Kirtan. You want to talk about changing lives through mantras. So any other questions you guys have, go ahead and type them in, or anything that you heard from this class that you thought, ooh, that, I want to do that. Because now we can use this time, there's strength in numbers, right? That's how Kirtan works. If you guys are like, you know what, I've been waiting to start my mantra meditation practice, or I'm ready to up my mantra meditation practice game, then now is the time. Now is the time to do it. I want you guys to type in there, what are your goals? What are your chanting goals? Type that in. Say if you've never meditated before, it's like, I want to chant 1 round a day. I want to do Kirtan for 10 minutes every day. What do you guys want to do? Let's hear it. Go ahead, type it on in. And also, if you have any other questions, now would be the time before we do a dessert Kirtan, as we like to say. And for some of you, it will be a lullaby Kirtan. That'll put you right on to bed. I love that. Become a good Kirtanier, a good Kirtan chanter. To be more consistent with my japa. Beautiful. I'm going to go from 10 to 20 rounds a day. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we call double down. I love it. I'd love to hear from everyone else too. What are your thoughts? Even if it's, because it's nice, because once you put it into the ether, when it's here, when it's subtle, floating around the brain, it's kind of like, yeah, maybe one day I'll learn Kirtan. But as soon as you put it into the gross, from subtle to gross, it creates momentum. It creates a type of energy. Where attention goes, energy flows. I want to start singing the Maha Mantra with an instrument. Yes, absolutely. And what instrument? It has to be a Italian instrument, French instrument. No, whatever instrument you play. Some are harder. Maybe like the recorder would be a little harder to chant with. Clarinet. Yes. I do know people who do that though. It's all about what gets you in the mantra. Amazing. So while we prepare for our Kirtan, become a good mridanga player. I love that. Yeah, mridanga is a very traditional clay drum that's just absolutely beautiful. Become piano. Is that Italian? Yeah, why not? I love it. Piano Kirtan is my personal favorite. If you said, Madhu, you can only use one instrument forever, I'd pick a piano. What are the benefits of chanting? Oh, good question. Sorry that I missed that, Fernanda. Oh my gosh, how long do you guys have? So, I mean, even it's been scientifically proven, and I'll send these links after so that you have access to them. Or, I mean, frankly, if you guys have heard of Google, you can find so much research on this as well. The benefits of how it even physically and cellularly changes you. What to speak of how it calms down the mind and reduces stress. But even more than that, some mantras can also do that. They can help calm the mind, relieve stress, changes. But the Maha Mantra in particular, and would someone maybe Pancharatna or someone, could you type in the Maha Mantra so that everyone can see it? Because in a minute, we're going to be chanting that together. So those of you who don't have it memorized yet, and you could put it maybe in all caps so it's very easy to see, and make sure everything's spelled out very nicely. That'd be awesome. So, and then that's just on a physical level, but on a spiritual level, this is like picking up the telephone and, ET phone home, calling back home and saying, this is the reconnection. So just like, thank you for typing that in, Pitya. So this is the type of, calling back home connection that helps to purify the heart. It's mentioned that Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, that it cleanses the mirror of the heart. Chanting the Maha Mantra cleanses the mirror of the heart so that we can see our true nature better. I know you wouldn't be here if you haven't had some experience, even if it's just a glimpse of that light of our true nature. It's like that glimpse, or whether you do this regularly and you're feeling it and you're in it, you're fully immersed in it. It's so powerful. They say it's better to have one moment of clarity and connection in this life than a lifetime of disconnect. One moment of clarity, one mantra can change our life and help us to really see our true nature here and really connect with God, with Krishna, with a higher power like that. I mean, they're talk about benefits. If you want benefits, there are literatures after literatures. Like if you've ever heard of the Bhagavad Gita, what an amazing, that's the book for bhakti yoga. And there's an amazing version called, let's see. Comprehensive Guide to Bhagavad Gita by H.D. Goswami. If you guys are looking for a super palatable, comprehensible version of the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches all these bhakti principles, that's an amazing resource. Some of our workshops on Chant Now are also so beneficial for that. And there's just literatures dedicated to the benefits. It changes us on every way, whether we're even paying full attention to the mantra, it will act. Just as if you touch fire and you don't know the power of fire, it'll still burn you. These mantras, whether you know their power or not, if you bring them into your life, they'll burn you. They'll burn away all those unwanted things. Amazing. So we're going to transition into a final little kirtan. If you guys, while I'm getting ready, if you have any other last little comments or questions, go and type them in now. You have this book, amazing book, right? Fernando, give us one of these if you love that book. By the Waterfall, I love it. I love it. Fantastic. So in the meantime, I encourage you to start taking some deep breaths and really just sink into where you are. Just feel so grateful to have a few moments to dedicate to your spiritual life, to investing your full attention in the spiritual growth. What a luxury, what a benefit. How fortunate are we all to be here together. Nothing is random. Nothing is fun. Nothing. There it is. There's that Bhagavad Gita. This is all divinely and perfectly arranged. So the kirtan we're going to do, it'd be a little hard to bring other instruments in, but one thing that's cool, I call this a Madhu-sized guitar. It's a cute little, tiny little guitar. We're going to do a little kirtan with guitar, because the cool thing with guitar is you can hold both the rhythm and the melody simultaneously. So as I'm playing, I encourage you to not only sink into where you are, you can dim the lights if it's late, whatever you want to do, whatever you have to do to really sink in and allow the mind to calm down so that these mantras can do all the work. All you have to do is let the mantras in. Don't stop them with the mind, because that's easy, right? The mantra comes in here, the mind's right there. The mind can say, wait a second, what about this? What about the laundry I have to do? What about the dishes? And this, what about the, right? Don't let the mantra stop there. Relax. Tell the mind, make an agreement, shake hands, say, all right, mind, give me 15 minutes. We're going to meditate, and then you can have full reign after that. Deal. Okay. The mind will be very happy with that agreement. And do whatever it takes to just sink into that full comfort, full relaxation. Now's the time to invest our full attention in the sound. So does everyone see the Maha Mantra that was typed by Dara and Aditya like that? You guys see that? Cool. So in case you don't have that memorized quite yet, there's a resource for you. Whoa. There we are. And as we chant, I want you to pretend like we can hear you. What's the fun? And, you know, it's powerful if you chant like this. It's even more powerful if you chant like this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's even more powerful if you scream it, which I'm not going to do just because I don't want to scare everyone away. I scream it right into the mic. But now's the opportunity. Maybe no one can hear you. Maybe you could scream it. When was the last time you could just fully absorb your full attention into this mantra? Now's that time. Now's the time. There's no one around. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable. You can take deep breaths to really let that sound out with full heart, with full soul, like that. And start taking some deep breaths. Let's hear in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feeling so grateful to get to come together and chant. A few more just like that. Really feel the shoulders relax. Feel the smile just naturally manifest. So I'll chant this mantra in full, and then everyone together, as one family, as one unit, we're going to respond to the mantra. Again, I'll chant the mantra in full. Again, you all respond in full, and we'll go back and forth. Sometimes I'll say everyone, and I want you to chant again. And when I say everyone, that means I want you to give more enthusiasm. And really take this time to invest your mind. Steve Jobs used to say, live every day like it's your last, because one day you'll be right. So we say, chant every mantra like it's your last, because one day you'll be right. Now you have the opportunity. Now is the time to hear every syllable, to taste every syllable, and try to hear the own sincerity in your own voice. Take one more deep breath in, one more big sigh. So here's what the mantra sounds like. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Take a deep breath from your heart, everyone, nice and loud. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Now I'll chant. Take a deep breath, really let it out nice and loud. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Much louder, much louder. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let it out, clap along if you like, absorb the mind. Hare Krishna. Close your eyes if you like. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Let's do everyone again, a little louder, from your heart. Hare Krishna. Let your neighbors hear it, nice and loud. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time, really let it out, full heart, full attention, everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Really let it out, absorb your mind. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Soft and sweet. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. From your heart, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. No reservations, nice and loud. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Absorb your full mind. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. One more time, everyone, much, much louder. Hare Krishna. Let the neighbors hear it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. One more, much, much, much louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now's when you either stand up or put your hands in the air, and you're going to go crazy for this last few minutes. You ready? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Let it out. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Let it out, let it out. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Clap again, everyone sing it nice and loud. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Again, everyone much louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Much louder, everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Everyone dance. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Just your voices. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. One more time, full heart, full soul. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama.
Hare Hare. One last mantra all together. Full heart, full attention on every syllable of this mantra. Don't worry about the screen. We're thousands of miles away. Just bring it in for this last one and chant it with full sincerity, full heart, as if this mantra is the mantra that will change your life forever. Because if you let it, it will be. Take a deep breath. Sing with me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Very last one here, every syllable, full heart, full soul. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Thank you all so much for joining. The damage has been done. There's no taking it back. Thank you all so much. Please go check out that webinar online on chantnow.com. The Pancharatna posted just a couple comments above. Maybe if you don't mind posting that again, just so everyone can see it. And we're just so deeply grateful that you all took the time to come spend this evening or morning or wherever you are in the world